Buddy, welcome to another episode of Mir Musk, episode 29. The Dylan, and I want to pronounce this correctly. Is it Negri or is it Negri?
It's Negri, but I actually recently changed it to Dylan Jacob so I could stop going through this all the time. So I'm actually happy that we did this. I'm so fucking sick of making people almost say the N word that I've always been Dylan J Negri. And then I you know what's funny? I always tell people it's pronounced Negri. It's French. I'm lying. It's not French. It's not pronounced that way. I just think it's easier to tell people that and then let them believe that it's not as close to the N-word as it actually is. Right. But we're Dylan Jacob now. That's Jacob.
Especially for comedy.
Easier, right? There's no way. If you say the N-word trying to say Dylan Jacob, then that's on you.
Yeah, with comedy too, you meet so many different people who are going to be saying your name for maybe one time ever to bring you on stage. So just go by a stage name.
I had to get brought up on stage by Brendan Chow, and he's actually the reason I'm changing my name to Dylan Jacob, because Chow and me were getting along. You know, big surprise there. Two just fuck boys doing comedy. Yeah. And bro, we were like sniffing each other's asses like two dogs that just found their new best friend. And dude, after like 25 minutes of convo, he had to go on stage and he's bringing me up. And at this point, he's saying Dylan in the conversation. Like, let me tell you something, Dylan. Oh, I made him like a black guy. Let me tell you something, Dylan. But the second he's about to go on stage, he goes, "Oh, what's your last name?" And I go, it's Negri. And I always try to say it as clean as possible to hope that someone goes, "Oh, Negri, got you." Nah, every time he goes, "Excuse me, what?" And I just go, and I'm like, it's Negri. It's French. It's pronounced Negri, but it's Negri is, the Americanized version. Again, lying, because I don't have an explanation to why my dad gave me this name. It's an Israeli name, and it's also an Egyptian name. But making it Egyptian just sounds racist, even more racist. Right. It just sounds like some Jewish dude was like, "He's fucking," and you're like, "Whoa!"
You're cultural appropriating the people of Egypt and everything.
Yeah, dude, it's not a good look. And then he called me Dylan Negri on stage.
Negri, that's interesting.
I was like, this is the last time this happens. And like, I'm just sick of it. I'm on the road with Jay and Ari right now, and separately. And I just was like, I get to the places and they go, "Dylan, is it pronounced?" I go, "Don't even worry about it, bro."
Shab has his own language. If you've seen that, it's called like Shabanese or whatever.
Shabanese.
Yeah, so it's on Reddit. It's PF Chang's thing with he's got all these words he constantly mispronounces. So I'll let him slide on it, but I could see how it could be a problem.
It's funny you say that, because again, I think me and Shab are hilariously similar when we started to talk, and I was like, this is very funny how like, of course we would get along, right? Like, of course. Right. And you know anything about me, you just like, it makes sense. And,
he's so funny.
It's so funny, dude. Like, we were literally sniffing each other's butts like dogs. It was retarded. And I say something on my podcast where I'll flub up words all the time. And I'll even say it on stage where I'll flub something and I'll just go, "Yeah, I do words good." Because, bro, I do words good. Just barely there. So I've heard about Shabanese, whatever, but I can relate.
Well, we had his former partner on turned enemy, Big Gay Lion, Mark Harley.
Sure.
Was the long-haired muscle dude, and it was right after they kind of had their breakup. So he spilled some dirt on Shab, but no, Shab is pound for pound one of the funniest guys. Like, his antics and all of his shows, and how even his stand-up's like very unique, and how like,
I like different that you said pound for pound, because I met him. He's like 6'5", 280. So yeah, there's no one in his weight class. Right. Anyway, so it's like pound for pound, he's 100%. He's undefeated.
Oh, I would love to see him get back in the ring and just beat some podcaster's ass or something.
I'm 6'3". He was like, felt like he made me feel 5'11". I was like,
no shit.
I felt small. I was like, am I even 6 foot anymore?
No doubt.
You meet someone who's like a solid 6'5", 6'6", you're like, oh, am I even tall?
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm 6'3", but then when you get around, like, especially those guys with that football build that's just
They're
built
solid
out.
tall.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, different species,
Different species.
different bone structures, but
Yeah, 100%.
But-
This dude's shoulders were like the size of my arms, like this. It was
Yeah.
it was ridiculous.
dude, I would love to interview Chow someday, man. He's such a G.
Who's
He's
that
awesome.
one?
No, he's a cool ass dude.
How big is Bradley Cooper? Not Bradley Cooper, Brad something. I forgot his name. The big workout dude who worked with he did like
Bradley
Bros,
Martin.
The guy who
Bros.
just
Bradley
spoke out
Martin,
all
yeah.
the fighters. I've never seen him in person, but I assume
That
he
dude's
has
huge
that
as shit.
same confidence where it's like when you just like kind of not tower over people, but you realize you're like, yo, I'm like 3 of that person.
Right.
I think it like slowly gets in your head a little bit.
I'm talking about like the big guys that are like big though. He's like kind of like he built his body to be big. I don't know how tall he actually is, but like
Sure.
just those football guys who are like
They're
Like a
corn-
Michael
they're
built
Ward type of
different.
dude.
They don't even have to have
Corn-fed.
definition to their muscle. They're just huge,
Huge,
It's
yeah.
corn fed, bro.
Corn.
Corn-fed.
GMO.
Corn-fed.
GMO corn fed. They're all freaking
They're just
Europeans. They're just
Yeah,
Viking
bro,
type
they're just
motherfuckers.
built
They're
different.
behemoths. But I want to dive into you, Dylan, a little bit here in your career because I only heard about you through Dr. Chow and some videos I've seen online about you at Legion of Skanks and everything like that.
Sure.
So I kind of want to dive into your beginning of your podcast, not podcast, but your comedy career. And
Yeah.
you're a very young gentleman, so you don't have as many like seasons under your belt, but you're still in the game of it. You're still killing it. You're doing your
100%.
thing.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of my season.
Right.
You guys are about the same, I think, around the same age, mid-20s.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm 20, I just turned 26.
Shit. So I'm a little bit older than you then. All right, cool.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I kind of want to dive. What kind of like inspired you to get into comedy at a young age, and how did you cultivate your comedic, I would say, stoicness on stage?
I don't. You know, it's so funny, dude. I don't think I'm stoic at all.
No,
on stage.
I was gonna say, like, he's like an energy dude, bro.
Yeah,
you watch
dude,
his
I don't think-
TikToks and stuff.
He's
Yeah.
the hype man.
Yeah, dude.
wild
I
man.
got energy, and that's the problem sometimes is when like you run into an audience that doesn't have energy. You're like, why the fuck am I working up here?
Right.
I'm like, I'm just working my like. It really when you're an energy comic, like comics like Ari can have energy and then run back, like fall back on some stoicness and say lines. And for me, it's a little different where if I have energy and they don't, you're kind of just like, yo, did y'all like, can y'all pick it the fuck up? Like, there's
Right.
no like,
There's no urgency to actually want to have fun.
yeah, because what happens is, I got stoned before this. Because what I was gonna say is, what happens is you get off stage and let's say you're stoic and you just do your lines. You're like, oh, they're a bad crowd.
Right.
When you have energy, you're like, damn, I couldn't get them
Hyped enough.
excited. It's like having sex with a girl and you look over, you're like, you had fun? You good? Are you good? Cause I don't know about you guys, but like when I fuck, I'm fucking a win. Everything I do is to win. And so like I'll look over and be like, how was that for you? And if you don't see
Right, you ain't breathing hard, you ain't doing the job right.
yeah,
you know.
if she can answer the question, you fucked up.
Right, there you go.
Facts.
So,
facts.
but I didn't forget your first question too. What got me into comedy?
Yeah.
I don't know, just being like a narcissist. I'm the youngest of 3. I'm the youngest of 3. I just always wanted to talk and be seen and be heard.
Right.
And then I would see stand up, and I remember like hearing like Chris Rock on the radio, and like every like blue moon, my dad never plays music or anything while he's driving. My mom plays.
What
like,
the
pop
fuck?
music.
Serial killer vibes right there, bro.
No, my dad's Israeli army shit, bro. He just sits in silence.
There you go.
And I'll be real with you. When I was a kid, I used to say the same thing, like, yo, you're a serial killer.
Oh.
Now as I'm like older and I got more on my plate, I got a girl of 2 years. I'm slowly trying to build a family. I got a cat. I'll be driving. Like, if I get a rental, I got a rental car when I was in Austin, and I was driving in silence, like.
Dude, wait till you have kids and they want to play music that's like fucking
my dad,
program
dude, my
shit
dad
that's
used to
bad for
curse.
your brain. It's like, oh.
I one time played what's the fucking song by Char Millionaire?
Char Millionaire, yeah, I know who.
I played Char Millionaire one time, a CD.
Chameleonaire.
Yeah,
my
dad got so pissed at me. So it's like little things like that where my dad's is my dark side of humor, and my mom is like my pop, like my just like general like TikTok. Like let me just hit like America's Got Talent type of like comedy where it's just like it's just general. It's very like I say to my friends, I'm like, I'm your mom's favorite comic. Like not very like I'm a bro's favorite comic if they get the shtick, but a lot of times it's like girls and like bros coming up to me or like moms coming up to me being like, oh my god, you have to keep going.
Well, it shows, bro, that you came on the scene and popped like right away. Because I was watching Real Ass Podcast and Legion of Skanks a lot. When was that? Maybe like 3 years ago?
About like 3-4 years ago.
3-4 years ago. Yeah. So I remember when you came on as kind of like you were working there. You're a producer / character, and then you just kept getting like doing funny ass shit. Like stupid shit, funny shit, whatever. There's just a lot of attention.
You know what's funny is what Real Ass Podcast and Legion of Skanks and the rap and the Gas universe taught me is I came in being like, oh, I'm gonna be Pete Davidson, bro. This is 3 years SNL, fucking TV. I mean, look at this fucking mug. Of course it's gonna happen,
right?
And then reality hits you in the face and goes, you need to work for this shit. And
no, it's the pandemic that slowed you down, bro. You were you were going for it, bro.
Pandemic hit me different. So I used to run around with a smile, a dumbass, a shit-eating grin when I would tell other comics that I became a real comedian over the pandemic. Because I was working at a podcast studio that podcast during the pandemic
skyrocketed,
started booming.
Yeah.
And that's when I started my podcast. I mean, and that stuff starts booming and starts doing really, really, really well. And then I'm like, I'm getting asked to do shows now. And they're not like every single week. They're like, yo, let's put you on 7 times a week. It went from me asking for all the stage time that I got to like, now I ask for 70% of the stage time I get. It's like, ooh, 30% comes a little bit easier. And even that other 70% maybe comes a little bit easier now because I work at Gas.
Right.
Now, when I look back, I fucking wish I had those 2 years to do stand-up because
really
it's one of those weird things where I'm on the road now and I start seeing, I'm like, oh, I'm a 5-6 year comic with 3 years under his belt.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a 3-year stand-up comedian who's been doing it for 6 years, but has been doing podcasts for 4 of those years. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a weird
it's a whole different animal, honestly.
Yeah,
well, the whole world changed too.
Yeah, and like so Gas Digital, if you don't know, is a podcast studio, in New York City. And Lewis, and they put a lot of pressure on me to like I had to figure out that I'm the joke sometimes.
Right. You gotta laugh.
Coming into that Pete Davidson confidence. I remember one time having a conversation with Derek Gaines. And Derek Gaines is, if you don't know, a comedian that's been on the road with Pete. It's one of Pete's best friends. What is it? King of Staten Island is about him and Pete's relationship of Pete like growing up basically because Pete slept on his couch. And I remember one time talking to him and he goes, bro, if you were I'm trying to think of the word, not prophecy, but he's like, bro, if you were
prophet?
If you were a prophet, basically, let's just say that. He goes, bro, if you were a prophet in comedy, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And I was like, that's true. He goes, bro, Pete's comedy comes from a world of hurt. He goes, that man's dad died at 9/11. Like he really is a fucked up kid on the inside, and that's where his comedy comes from. He's like, you need to figure out where your comedy comes from. And he goes, and if it's not that deep level of pain, you don't want that shit. He's like, the people, if you notice, the people that pop off quickly, it's either industry plants, which just means they're good for the industry. They're TikTok. No one knows why they do well, but they do well for the industry.
Right. They check all the boxes.
Or it's people with pain. You have a story to tell.
That's
it.
I mean, look at musicians. I mean, most of them that are successful are fucked up to some extent, horribly. Sure. Just all fucked up, and it's sad to see. But I think it's just because I don't know. There must be something there with somebody. If you're willing to put all your eggs into one basket, you got to be somewhat
of a psychopath,
a sociopath, psychopath, whatever you want to call it. And it's kind of cool. You're kind of like balancing between podcasting and comedy stand-up. There's like 2 levels. You kind of balance yourself out a little bit. You're not on that psychopathic level, but
you're producing shows too a little bit. So like you've got kind of a clout for in that scene of New York, right? For comedy now.
Yeah, I mean, people love our shows. They've been sold out a ton. I think we only have one not sell out in the last like 8 shows. And it's like 110-seater room at the Stand, main room, next show November 2nd. Come through if you're in New York, Philly, Jersey area. We started with I started Doped Up Comedy. That was the name of the podcast. The podcast name was Doped Up and Dying because during COVID I was on the phone with my friends every single day trying to stay sane. And one of my friends, DC Williams, who's also on the podcast, we're smoking weed, we're smoking a joint. He goes, "Bro, we're just out here doped up and dying." And I was like,
"You're like, there we go, that's it."
Fucking name. I was like, "That's the name." And then it just became Doped Up Comedy. We shortened it a little bit, and so we do the podcast, Doped Up Podcast, and then we do the live shows, Doped Up Stand Up and Doped Up Live, and yeah, dude, it's been the reason why I take a pause is because it's been a difficult ride, and I'll be real with you, it's I feel like you're catching me right in the middle of a season. Like it's funny, you said it before. It's like it's I'm going to go on the road now with Big J Ogerson. I have a tour coming up with Ari next week.
That's huge, dude.
And dude, they're fucking huge opportunities. And but it's a lot of fighting, crawling your fucking way and fighting. So it's like when people want to I want to celebrate, I want to go out and drink, but it's like that's not how I got to this point. I got to this point that's where the psycho in me comes out. Is I think my work ethic, and I think no matter what, whether I get into an argument on a podcast and I'm the butt of the joke, whether I slip on stage or whatever, I'm gonna get up and run through a fucking wall. And that's kind of that's where my psycho shit comes in, is I don't stop for some reason.
No, you're a hardworking man. You got good work ethic. I'm sure your father stowed that upon you, as a young child. You gotta work hard for what you want in life.
Yeah.
Be sitting on your ass and just waiting for people to hand you shit. This shit don't happen in real life.
No, yeah, and also I had to learn, and it's funny, it's this shit doesn't happen overnight either.
Fuck no, you got put in the time.
I'm like, and circle back to that is that's what I had to kind of say to myself getting into the gas universe. That's what it taught me. I was like, yo, motherfucker, you are not above putting in the time. If Big J Ogerson is not above putting in the time, if Derek Gaines, if Dave, people around you aren't above putting in the time, motherfucker, you can put in some time. You can put in 10 years.
You can put in a few.
Every time, even saying how long you been because I don't work at Gas Digital anymore. I'm officially just solo, but I'm still part of that family, and it's but now when you say it out loud, was that really only 3 years ago? Have I grown this much in 3 years? You're like, I'm still young, but time works different in stand-up comedy. You can meet someone who's 32, just about to come up and do their thing. You're like, yo, how long you been doing this? They're like, 14 years, my boy. You're like, oh, okay, makes sense.
So I kind of want to dive into your take on. So I've been hearing some things about the New York comedy scene is not what it used to be back in the day, and you're pretty young, So you've been. So I kind of want your take on, because I hear all these old heads saying New York comedy scene is not what it used to be, and now you're a young kid in this comedy scene. What's your take on the New York comedy scene with other comics around your same age? Is it pretty
it ain't what it used to be?
It ain't. So what's wrong with it? What's going on with that? I want to hear from a younger generation what's going on with it, honestly.
You would think I would figure out TikTok in a week. I think I'm personally, just the way that my development is I've always been a late bloomer to everything. My dick grew late, my height grew late, my hair grew in late. I didn't get a beard until I was 24. When I grow this out and I grow my hair out, people think I'm 30, and then I cut it, and immediately people are like, "Oh, you're 19."
Yeah, that's how shit rolls, man. Yeah.
There is a weird thing, and you can't blame producers. So if I go on a TV show that's a legit TV show that you see that has multiple seasons, HBO's picked it up 4 times, it has 4 seasons, and has 2 more seasons coming out. You're going to get booked, but you're not necessarily selling tickets. What you're selling is someone sitting there. They go, "Hey, this guy from boop, 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 boop." And then they get on, and then you go, "Oh, I've heard of that." Or, "Oh, I know that." Or hopefully the best case scenario, someone goes, bro, this is that guy. I was telling you, that's the dude. And they fan out a little bit. But then you also have like pit talkers, people with 1 million followers who have just started doing stand-up a year ago because they thought it was fun.
Yeah.
They're gonna sell probably 20 tickets. Especially if you made your following in New York City, they're gonna sell 20 tickets. So you kind of book them to fill the house, and you go, you know what? For 10 minutes, if I got to give you 10 minutes, and you make me $500, let's do it.
Right.
I think there's a problem with development of comics, whereas I think everyone gets in differently. And I don't know how it used to be, but I know it used to be more of like you put in your time and people recognize that. People recognize hard work. I think I'm a hardworking comedian. I don't know if I necessarily get recognized for it all the time. And I listen, the tour with Big J, the tour with Ari, that's me getting recognized. That's not lost upon me.
Hey, remember this though. Lil Wayne always said, most G's move in silence like lasagna. All right.
Hey man, amen. I mean, literally, like that's the problem with New York comedy now is the politics. You have. I went to Austin, and in Austin, it's like really different. Where people are like, "Oh wait, you're moving like that in this game? How long have you been doing it? There must be something to you. Can you come be at my place? Where in New York, like can you come do my spot? Come do my show? New York is like, how long you been doing it? Right. You got how far?
Oh, that's cute. Type shit, yeah.
Dude, you would be.
I can't help you anymore because if I help you, you might surpass me, and it's me versus you, and we can't have that.
It's very cutthroat.
So, you would be a Don in Austin, bro.
I might be there soon.
Dude, that'd be dope. Then you do all those shows and.
You guys have been dope. I've teased it on the podcast. I think it's been talked about a little bit, but my girl is pushing me to move to Austin, and I got to do what's best for me sometimes. And I do a monthly show. Why not do a weekly show?
Yeah.
And it would be way cooler to build what I'm building in Austin, and kind of have like you said, be a Don somewhere, be a pillar. Instead of being a fucking paper straw.
Sometimes you just need to change the scenery to reset the vibe.
Yeah. And I heard also
you're leveling up anyway.
Yeah.
Also, what's weird is I grew in this scene, and I wasn't good when I started. Like, not a lot of people are.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you got to remember, sometimes people see me, they go, "Bro, how long have you been doing stand up?" And I'm like, "Oh, I appreciate that. That's a question because you're like, yo, this kid's good." Because sometimes I'll ask someone, I'll be like, "Yo, how long have you been doing stand up? That was a really good set." And they're like, "Oh, 15 years." I'm like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
do you think like brothers and stuff are like sometimes can climb they might not have been doing it longer, but then it looks like they've been doing it longer. And I think you kind of got more like a black style comedy a little bit too.
So what people used to tell me when I first started, they never said I was funny. They said you look comfortable, you look confident.
There you go.
That's what instead of saying black, confident. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. I mean, and then just recently I got like, "Hey, bro, that was really funny. That was a really good set. That was really funny. That was a really good joke. I love that one joke. I love that one part." And but people used to come up to me and be like, "Yo, you're so confident. You look comfortable up there." What no one sees is I'm low key just like me doing good is a reaction to not wanting to fail sometimes. Right, and that's what and sometimes you got to change it about yourself is you can be in two modes with stand up. It's sometimes you feel funny and other times it's work. And other times, like, you're showing up for a work and you kind of have to like get to yourself where you go, you gotta get yourself like in the zone.
Exactly.
Where,
you gotta fucking switch gears. Like
I was in Phoenix with Big J. Usually shows go one Thursday, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday. There was no Thursday show, and Thursday's a good warm up day, bro. I love a good Thursday show because Friday's gonna have one good show, and then you have Friday late night, which is notoriously always the bad show, and then you have Saturday,
hammered and shit.
Yeah, they're just tired. They're tired. They didn't realize when they bought the tickets how tired they were gonna be, and they're tired. And bro, first show on Friday, I ate a dick. Like, just ate a dick. And I was like, fuck, bro. And I was like, it wasn't even that bad. It was just from my standards. I got off stage and I go, no, that's not what I want to do.
Right.
And then the second show, I was more technically sound. They laughed. It was a good show. I got a clip or two out of it. But in my head, I was like, yo, bro, I'm not having fun. What the fuck is the problem? And I was tired. I was jet lagged.
Yeah.
On Saturday, before the first show on Saturday, I looked at John Carden, who's also an Austin comic, who was on the road with us. I looked at the thing. He goes, bro, they're about to pull you on. Like, they're about to call your name. I looked at him. I go, whoa, wait. Took a drink of water and just Triple H did. Went,
oh my God.
And just did that before my set. Had the best set of the weekend.
There you go, man.
Yeah,
because you're like,
yes,
you'll start taking shit too serious all of a sudden.
Yeah.
You're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, you don't want to get in your
You
head.
gotta laugh, man. Shit's not that serious. Just laugh.
Yeah.
Just
So like,
flow.
that's kind of what like me as a comic and as a person, like taking shit serious because I love it, and then being like, yo, it's not that serious.
And meshing, you know,
because I love it, and then it's not that serious.
The confidence with the material and meshing it all together. It's just it's an art form that takes time to, you know, it's always evolving.
Yeah, and like you start learning, especially when you're on the road with Big J, where you're like, if I'm making myself laugh, like I'll be real with you, I care way less if people come up to me after the show and be like, yo, bro, that one joke, that shit like hit me all the way around. I like when someone says something to me on stage, like I say to like a married couple, I was like, you guys married? I'm like, kids? The guy goes, nah. And everyone laughs at the way he said it. And I just repeat, I go, he went like, nah. I go, why? You don't want to put a kid in that or something? And I just said something quick where the whole audience went, whoa! And I kind of laughed to myself where I was like.
So you got good crowd control then, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
That's gotta be such a good feeling.
So how's that? How'd you develop your crowd
fun.
control? How'd you develop that? You just had it over time, you know, just joshing with the boys, or did you have to develop that a little bit?
I had a year with no jokes. What you mean, bro? I kept getting booked. I had no jokes. I had 2 jokes. And I was getting booked 3 times, 4 times a week sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'd have to walk out. And I remember I bombed in Philly for one of my first shows ever booked. And Tim Butterly comes up to me, watched me bomb, and goes, you know, sometimes you got to play in the room. You know, don't go up there immediately and just start doing jokes.
And the light bulb just switch in your head.
Yeah.
Tim is a G too.
Tim's a fucking G. And Tim is someone that I got kind of like a lot of courage from watching him do stand-up, where he's very just loose with it. He's like, bro, I'm here and I'm having fun. It's puppy energy and I'm here. And that's what I feel like I am. I'm like puppy energy. And bro, I developed my crowd work being around Jay, and then I developed it because there was a year I was like, I don't like my jokes. I'm trying to write new ones, but I'm trying to write better ones. But now it's getting to a point where I'll do crowd work, I'll get off stage and I'll be like, I didn't do no jokes.
You're like, so go ahead. You want to say some, Chow?
Yeah, well, like when you're right. So when this is a little craft of comedy, but we're buddies with this dude, Ray DeVito.
Yeah.
And he always talks about how he's always yelling at other comics, like, you got to pick up a pen and write a joke down. Like, that's the only thing. But like, his jokes stink, you know? So like, how much of it's actually just writing and how much of it's like, you know, like performing and like writing it while you're in the moment?
I remember one time I wrote a whole new set on stage, and I think it was at Ray's show. There was someone else. It was an upstairs room at the Stand. I sit down on the bench. I think it was someone else's show. Because also the person who was hosting it got mad at me because I killed, and then I tapped her on the back, and she was like, "Don't ever touch me on stage." And I was like,
"Whoa,
oh, whoa!" I was like,
"Okay, daddy."
Nah.
Yeah, she's foreign to touch. All right, it's all right. She's foreign to it, bro. It's all right.
Bro, she bombed on and off stage and on stage.
I bet there's a lot of people
on stage. But I sat down on the bench waiting to go up next. And this dude turns to me and goes, "Are you the next comic?" I go, yeah. He goes, "Good luck." And I was like,
"Is that a challenge?"
bro, I'm fucked in the head. I'm telling you, I'm a psycho because I'm the only idiot that goes, I got him.
Yeah.
I got him. I got him. And bro, I just went up there and I said something. I just walked up there. I go, what the fuck is the energy in this room? This is weird. I was like, this is like when like the bad kid in class gets yelled at and finally the teacher snaps and smacks him across the face, and then they're in the hallway hashing it out, and we're just in here like all quiet and shit. And then he gets sent to the principal's office like he's in trouble. Yeah. And then I started like going off on that. I go, what's this like principal came in the classroom energy? I go, I was like, no one's parole officers here or anything. Like you guys are good. Breathe. And then a line that I'll say a bunch, and I think I came up with it then. I was like, are you guys edging? Is that the thing? Are y'all edgers? Is that what you're? And then I'll be like, you're edging your laughter because every time you guys laugh, you go, ha ha.
Yeah. They don't want to laugh because they think it's offensive.
And it kind of opened them up, and then I did some joke where I was, not even some joke, I was just talking, and I was like, and I was talking about like COVID, and I was just like, I was talking about COVID, and I was like, bro, COVID. And I was like, and I literally was like, yo, and I said some line, I was like, yo, COVID's fucked up, man, because I was like, I was 21 when COVID started. I'm 19 now. Fuck that. If you can take 2 years, so can I. And I just said, like, and I was just thinking of lines, and I was like, and I remember getting off stage and people being like, yo, good set, and I was like, yo, no one talked to me. I didn't record that. So I'm just sitting there trying to write the entire set, bro.
So Dylan, I got a question for you.
I got an answer for you.
Yes, sir. I know you do. Definitely, I know you do. So you've had all these great crowd works. What is probably one of your most, I would say, intense, and I would say also more, not bad, but I would just say very, just very intense aspect of dealing with crowd work that you've had, not recently, but just over your whole entire career? What was the most intense crowd working experience you ever had? You were scared. You're like, oh shit, this guy might be a tweaker. I don't want to actually fuck with him, or he's way unhinged.
I was in, so two things. Recently in Phoenix, I just turned over and I was like, yo, what's there to do in Phoenix? And someone said like cartel. And then I was like, cartel, that's crazy. I go, and then some dude said something. I go, sorry, man, it's got lost in your face. You look like you run the cartel. And then everyone was like, whoa. And I was sitting there, I was like, how do I get out of this?
How do I get out of this as a white boy? How do I get out
and I was like, how do I get out of this? And I was like, you know what? Nah, you're right. And I went, sir, they all think I'm fucked up. Can you stand up real quick and turn to the audience? And when I tell you he stood up and turned, they lost their fucking minds. I go, yeah, people in the back, you thought I was racist. You thought I was fucked. And then you looked at him and you laughed and you realized that motherfucker runs a cartel. And then but sometimes it doesn't. That's a winning story. Right. A losing story is I was at the Stress Factory in New Jersey, also with Jay. I think it's Saturday night or Friday night, and it's only 2 shows. I think it's the first show, and bro, just crowd work over here. So you look like, yo man, sir, why you dressed like me? Nothing. Sir, why you do nothing, man? And then sometimes I got ADHD, and that I don't take medicine for, so I'll just keep like my brain's too fast, so I'll flub up a word like,
oh shit, yeah.
I was killing doing crowd work in Phoenix, and then I was like, they're gonna take a chip to Kabaru or like Karabaru, and I said like Karabaru, and I was like, no one laughed, and I was like, that's not a word. I'm sorry, I do words good. And you just gotta learn how to like laugh at yourself.
Right.
And Stress Factory Jersey was not one of those moments. I am eating a dick, and then this is the first time it's ever happened to me. Someone just goes, boo.
No, bro, you got booed.
I was like, and I don't know what I said. Knowing me, I probably was like, yo, shut up, bitch. Trying to act trying to act all confident. I was like, yo, fuck you, bro. And then Jay always wanted me to put it out as a clip, and I never did. And I should find the footage and put it out because it's awkward. There's a moment of like, I'm trying to save it. I'm like, why'd you do that? I'm like, what made you do that? And
well,
we kind of go back and forth, and then this is how I got bailed out of it, bro. Mm-hmm. Someone else screams out and is like, shut up and let him do his thing.
And then she was hot, probably, right?
No, it's
Neither of
Jersey,
them were?
dog. It's Jersey, dog. And the hot ones in Jersey aren't going out to a comedy show on a Friday night. I
Oh, those
guarantee
are
you
bad
that.
bitches, bro.
No, bro, bad bitches are out on the town being hoes.
You get a ton of like hoes on at the shows, right?
Me, no.
Yeah.
What is the nastiest
You
bitch?
know you get
What is the
groupies,
nastiest
bro.
bitch that ever came up to you and tried to get with you, bro? You're like, nah, I got to swerve this. What's the
Got side
nastiest
pieces
bitch?
all over, bro.
Yeah, I know you had a time you had the nastiest chick walk up to you. You're
I
like,
got
no,
a
no.
blowjob.
Oh no.
In you know the famous show Are You Garbage?
Yes.
Yeah.
You know I used to be their producer.
Really? Okay.
Oh
I did not
shit!
know that.
When they were
When
at
they
Gas
were
Digital.
at Gas,
Yeah.
I was their producer. I hate to admit it. It's if you look back at it now, I don't like you're a Gas fan, right, Chow?
Yeah.
So you know what happened with their old manager and shit.
Yeah, someone in the chat was actually asking what your take was on that.
I'm scared to hit the chat to
Okay.
see,
Yeah.
but that old manager wouldn't give me rope very often. And Are You Garbage? I wish I could have produced it the way I wanted to, and I wasn't able to. And the last time, like you know when you're like, oh, I think I might be losing this job.
Yeah.
It wasn't because of like anything super technical. I don't always want to be the producer, and that's sometimes the problem. Like when I film content for Big J, it's different. It's like it's a teamwork.
Right.
When I was doing stuff for Are You Garbage, I didn't go up that night. I didn't do a show. All I did was set the cameras to record and do the audio and push it together. You know, it was no fun things for me. But I go in the audience to hit record on the camera, and this girl just Philly trash. Let's just say that. Just Philly trash.
She's off the fentanyl. She's tweaking.
Bro,
picked
she
her up off the street.
low key, like skinny tweaker.
Yeah.
With like green hair.
Oh, that's hot, bro. That's
Goes. It's short.
How was the head? Was the head good though? You know,
bro, she has like 3 empty like big cans by her.
Yeah.
And I just hear behind me as I'm resetting the cameras, yo, dildo.
No.
And I was like, no. And I'm like, that's like what Lewis calls me on Real Ass Podcast.
Oh no,
okay. And I was like, oh my God. And I turned around and I was kind of angry at first. Then I saw it was a chick smiling and I was like, hi, how you doing? And then I went to the back and she like DM'd me. She's like, what are you doing after the show? And I was like, and I think I probably, knowing me, I probably said something stupid like getting head by you in the parking lot.
Yes.
And like, that's just like, I'll be direct.
Yeah, right.
And we ended up meeting up afterwards.
In the parking lot?
Yeah, we're basically in the parking lot. There's like a fucking bridge above me with cars just
right.
And she's giving me the most drunken girl head.
Yeah,
but I'm like, yo, I'm fucking a fan. This is so cool.
Groupies, let's get it, boy.
So I busted her mouth. And then I show up, and then I see Foley and Kippy.
Yeah.
And I have all the equipment, and I have a big old dumb smile on my face, and I'm like, "Sup, boys?" And they're like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "Can I have one of those cigarettes?"
Hey,
he goes, "You smoke cigarettes?" I go, "When I get head in the parking lot, I do."
Hey.
And thinking like they're gonna be like, "Yo," they were just like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah, I just got like head from a fan and shit." They're like, "Right now?" And I think they're more surprised that it happened.
Right.
But that's when I kind of knew where I was like, "Oh, like you see now where there's a producer for one episode, for one comedian, one comedian, all the things that he does, he has a producer. At Gas Digital, it's different where you're a producer with like 5 shows. So I don't think I was able to give Are You Garbage like my full attention.
Okay.
And it was also being young and dumb and full of cum where I was like, I'm trying to get blown, bro. I'm taking blown.
I don't know too much about Gas Digital. All I know about is Legion of Skanks. We like from Dalton Pruitt, because we had Dalton Pruitt on and whatnot. We talked to him a little bit. Great gentleman now. You know, I'm glad he's more healthy now. He's doing better. But I kind of like. You said you left Gas Digital, correct?
Yeah, I think it's
What kind of brought that up? What kind of brought that?
yeah,
forward?
like 7 months ago. It was nothing like
No bad blood,
body
right?
or anything. Like it was nothing like bad. It was literally like me and Lewis had an idea for what my new job should be, and we couldn't
Right.
come together on just like the details of it. And then he gave me a call one time when I was in Florida, and he was really cool about it. He was like, "Yo, what's going on?" And I was just like, "Yo, I don't think we'll be able to come together on a deal like for the details because you sometimes you got to advocate for yourself." And I was also like, I used to produce for a show called No Need for Apologies that I literally have them tattooed on me,
Nice.
and they fired me 2 months after.
Whose show was that?
Good man.
What happened?
Whose show was that? I can't remember.
Derek Gaines and Dave Temple. Dave Temple.
Okay, yeah. I've
Yeah,
seen
he
those
won
guys
the
before
show.
online on other shows.
When in doubt, get them tatted on, bro. It's like female bitches ex's names. You get tatted on. You said you get your
bro, I
business
can't wait to put
tatted.
my own podcast over it.
Okay. So you're gonna cover that shit. Okay.
Well,
I might, yeah. Well, it's funny because I always teased Derek Gaines about that, where I'm like, yeah, man, can't wait to get this covered. This is crazy. Because I was just like, I don't think he wanted me fired. So, but it wasn't, dude. I want to be a comic.
yeah, you've grown out of being a producer guy now. So like you're still doing stuff with Gas. You're doing, we'll get into it later, but the boxing and
Yeah.
the Skankfest stuff, you're always there. And so it's not like
But
you had a falling
now
out.
I'm at Skankfest
Yeah, no
as
bad
like
blood.
a comic.
Yeah, now you're like a guy, you
full-time
know.
artist,
Yeah, you've leveled up. So hey, was that the thing? Weren't you dating some like celebrity chick?
Yeah, I was dating Corinne Fisher for a little bit.
Carrie
dang.
Fisher? What?
Yeah.
Corinne Fisher.
Oh, Corinne Fisher. Shit. I was like,
she does Guys We Fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Holy
She's a
shit.
baddie, bro.
Yeah, she's great. No, I'm still friends with Corinne. She's cool.
Okay.
Nice.
How'd you cultivate that? How'd you kind of get into her? Like, how'd you kind of not?
How did I get into her? So
No. You know
what you do is you thrust backwards.
yeah. Then you go forward with the motion.
And you go forward a little bit.
Now, how'd you cultivate that, and how did you kind of just get to know her? How'd you snag that?
People always ask me how'd you meet Jay? How'd you get in with Ari? How'd you get in with Jay? How'd you get in with
be normal?
Fisher? It's really just being normal. It's really just like not being a weirdo, kind of just knowing my lane, knowing my place, and then when the time comes, the time comes. Corinne has this story of she knew when she I watched Corinne develop a crush on me.
Oh,
nice.
Like we were doing literally like a Zoom thing just like this. I was doing merch for Gas Digital. I was doing their merch company.
You saw the twinkle in her eyes.
I had a meeting with her to do her merch, and we were just doing like a regular Zoom meeting, and I was just in the pocket business wise, because I can be silly, but I can also be like fucking calculated. And I just watched her kind of be like, okay.
Well, that's the thing. She was pulling in some money at the time, so she really admired someone who could talk a little business too.
I mean, for sure. She's still with Luminary. I'm sure she's still pulling in. It's not even about the money. It's more like I watched her kind of just be like, yeah, like, oh, this kid isn't just like a dumbass producer.
Right.
Yeah, like he wants more from life.
He's not.
And then
just
every time I would see her, I would just and then every time I would see her, I would just give her like an extra like, hey, Corinne.
Nice.
And then it was just, and then we dated for like I think it's like almost a year.
Damn. All right. So you and her were together.
You still hit it though, right?
No, you bag.
No.
I have a girlfriend.
You got an. Oh, my bad. Yeah. No disrespect.
That is no disrespect.
No, of course.
We're all taken here on this panel.
Yeah.
So.
No. You listen. You guys didn't know. It's okay. Get to the tea. I know.
Don't hurt me, please. I know you're a boxer, so don't hurt me.
Well, hey, were you
barely a boxer?
I got a question too before we get into the boxing. Were you doing music too for a minute, like rapping a little?
Never.
Oh no, you never rapped. Okay, never
I
mind.
thought
No.
that was it. I looked up Dylan Jacob on YouTube to kind of look up your shit. This rapper popped up. I was like, this cannot be the same dude.
No,
Have
if you look
seen that
up,
motherfucker?
so like again, the change to Dylan Jacobs been since Skankfest, so I gotta kind of like slowly turn it over. But yeah, if you look up like Dylan Jacob comedy, my
Okay.
shit will come up, or comedian Dylan Jacob will come up.
Okay. How is that? Because that kind of affected your business a little bit, changing your names so drastically like that.
I don't think changing my name from something that can almost be as the N word can be bad. You know what? I'm like,
True.
you know what? It might be like I haven't blown up that much. You know,
Yeah, I
if
don't
people,
think-
like if I get like a huge acting gig as Dylan Jacob, it's means nothing overnight.
Right.
It doesn't matter at this point. It's not gonna like hurt him. I don't think. I think it'll only help. So
Yeah,
But,
I think people just now get to be able to pronounce both sides of my name.
so what propelled you? Because I had seen some of your like fight journals and stuff, but you've been getting into the fight game a little bit over the last like year or two, right?
Yeah, I mean, I fought. My first time was fighting Mike Harrington, and then second time was fighting Paco, and then now it's gonna be like Krakamiko, and then it's stupid that I keep saying yes to them.
Why do you say yes to them? Why?
No one, dude. I don't know if it's because I'm like a hot boy, but like I'm a psycho also. Like I'm not.
I can tell you. You're like,
I'm not like right in the head, dude. I'm like.
you got the place that fired you tatted on you. Come on,
yeah,
man.
dude. I mean, I'm not smart. I have a fucking penguin tattooed on me.
No, that's hard. I fuck with that, but
hard, yeah.
that
I
is
fuck with
hard. I
that
fuck
too.
with that. No, I got shit tatted on me, bro. That's so fucked up. You don't even want to see it.
Bro,
really-
let's talk for 15 more minutes. I might get your name tattooed on me. I mean, I'm
There
not.
you go. I got garbage
I
tatted
keep
on me
saying yes
too.
to the fights because, so in previous years, the fights is how I got into Skankfest.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of like made my way to Skankfest and kind of like had some pull to be like, hey, if I don't have shows, you're not making a spectacle of me and getting a fight out of me.
Mm.
Now I keep saying yes because I want to make sure in my older age I still got hands.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm 26 now. Like, so last year I remember partying, doing mushrooms and like Molly and shit the night before the fight.
Yeah.
And people who like bet money on me were like, "Yo, dude, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing?"
I'm
And I
throwing the
remember being
game in. What do
like-
you think I'm doing?
But the reality is, I do mushrooms and Molly on like not a regular basis, but like mushrooms at least. And what if I'm like walking with my girl and I'm on mushrooms and then some dude starts a problem and I have to have hands on mushrooms? I'm like, or not even that. Like, if I just did mushrooms the night before, I'm a little foggy.
Right.
I'm like, anyone can fight at their best. I want to fight at my worst.
There you go.
Yeah. And you are you're acclimated to it enough. So
No, and it's I think this is the first fight that I'm like going like sober for. Where like the week and the 2 weeks out, I'm gonna like
Detox.
not do anything, and I've been running for the first time ever for this fight. So they're only 2-minute rounds. The only thing you got to focus on is your breathing.
How many rounds is it?
2 if it goes to decision, 3.
Okay. Are you kind of nervous at all about this one? Or are you kind of hyped up about it? Or are you kind of more like, this guy knows what he's doing? Like crack? Is he on crack? Doing his shit?
I think it's normal to be nervous. I think I'm nervous before everything. I think being nervous means you care.
Right.
But this is the first fight where I think this is the first fight where I'll be sitting on the side of the ring nervous, but also more excited than nervous this time. Because it's always been more nervous than excited. This is the first one where I'm like, he's shorter than me, he's smaller than me.
You got longer range.
I just feel more comfortable like in the pocket a little bit. And I think this might be my last one. I think I might be announcing my retirement here on the podcast.
Really?
I would wait to see how spectacular it is.
Yeah,
if you get a big win, you could.
If I go 0-3, it's one more.
But,
Have you ever knocked out anyone in the ring so far?
Bro, I'm not a boxer. These aren't knockouts.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, these are just like
you went to a decision with your Harrington fight was pretty good. I remember watching.
Harrington fight was okay. Paco's didn't go to a decision, which I think it should have, because the problem with the fights last year in my humble opinion, was they were allowed to kind of do it however they want. So when you're fighting, you're not in the right like headspace. Like you're
Right.
your adrenaline's at all
Yeah,
time.
you're in animalistic mode
You're
right
in
now.
fight or
Just gonna
flight
kill.
mode. Like you're
You're a
exhausted.
fucking warrior at this point.
And they kept going. 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left. And they did that like
They were
6 or
fucking
7
around.
times before I like turned and was like, yo, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not doing like
Oh shit, you're like, I'm done now. You fucker.
yeah, like
The joke was
and
funny 5-10 seconds ago.
yeah, and then in those 10 seconds, Paco got a little combo off.
Oh,
I
shit.
got a little combo off, but it was already too late to where my fatigue was at the bottom and his was just a little bit better than mine, I think, in those last 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. And they did no decision making. They did no crowd vote. They just went, Paco won. And then I remember getting off the
What the
stage
fuck?
and sitting there, and I kind of said to my friend, I go, who won? He was like, what? He's like, yo, what do you mean? I'm like, yo, I'm like, what was the decision? He goes, and he said the N-word, so I can't say that. He goes, my dog.
Yeah.
I don't know what there was no decision. Did I miss something? And I'm like,
oh shit.
Oh, it was just we had Dave Smith, Big J, Louis J. Gomez as the judges, Jason Ellis in the ring, and no one decided to go, this was a great fight. This is one of our headlining fights. Let's set them aside. Everyone take a moment. Let's see what the scorecard is. Even if the scorecard was like, in favor of the winner, 29-28, give me like, what was it? What was, did I lose by 1 point? Did I lose by 2 points? There was no,
Right.
but it didn't.
So that's a no contest. No contest.
Exactly.
Officially.
So I don't agree with the outcome of that fight. And it's hard to say that where people are like, it's the same thing with this fight. People are like, yo, you're running from Carnival of Combat. I'm like, I got booked on an RE tour.
I've got bigger fish to fry, motherfucker.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm a comedian, not a boxer.
Right. I'm not.
I'm a comedian / podcaster / actor / fucking creative / producer / boxer. Like boxer is
right. I do that for shits and giggles.
Yeah, well, it's literally just for the giggles.
It's good to know that you're a little bigger, taller, and got a little size on them. But do you guys have any real personal beef, or was it all? Because I saw the videos that were posted leading up to it, and kind of started with a call. It was fun, it seemed. But what's your take on the personal beef?
I'm not good at wrestling.
Yeah.
So, and I hate even saying this, but like, you know that Shaq story where he's like about David Robinson, where he was like, yo, David Robinson one time didn't give me a signature when I was a kid. And that's why I hated him, because every time I saw him, I'm going to bust his ass.
I never heard that.
He retired and was like, by the way, I made that story up. I apologized to David Robinson. You were just one of my heroes. And I couldn't go into every game being like, yo, I like this guy. I like this guy. Yeah, Crack isn't my hero. Let's take a step back. But I said that to Lewis about the first fight with Harrington. Well, I was like, yo, I'm a psycho, bro. I can't like this guy, walk past him every day, talk shit on Real Ass Podcast, and it not become a little real for me. It's a little
100%.
real for me.
Right.
So that's where, for me, I got to take the emotion out of it and kind of just be like, I get annoyed because I get mad no matter what. I get mad if I fucking,
Right. But doesn't emotion kind of drive you to that other level that maybe you can't get to? Because people fight even harder when emotions involved to some extent.
Yeah, but you don't want to fight with emotion. You want to fight reserve.
You have to
want to
balance
fight
it.
with yeah. So let emotion help you with the work beforehand, and then let the work beforehand help you in the ring.
There you go.
What was your take on the when you fell on stage? That was like a super viral clip online, but it was kind of like you got like posterized by like Jordan or something,
All right, guys, it was good talking to you.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's an honor to meet you.
You got to admit that blew
up.
up.
My fucking rider, you don't talk
God
about.
damn it, Chow! You
my
fucked
manager
up,
said
man.
one fucking thing.
That hyped it to be the best, the most anticipated fight on the card for me. Just seeing that, and then all the other ones, I think it's way better that you guys are doing it at Legion of Skanks separate, because I think this is my favorite fight of all of them.
Dude, it's so funny because we got into some Twitter back and forth
Yeah.
And I go, again, I don't know wrestling. I'm gonna be the heel no matter what. They're gonna hate me no matter what. So I got to the point where I'm just gonna start being a dick. And I tweeted back out, "Hey man, they're only watching for me."
Yeah.
And so many people commented, they're like, "I'm watching for Crack to beat you up. I'm watching for Crack. I'm watching for Crack." And then I just go, and I was like, "Yo, then have Crack fight anyone else. Like, have him fight anyone else. No one's watching. No one's watching. If Paco fights me again, his face is on the poster. He doesn't fight me, he's an undercard." So
Yeah, no, it's a good mix with both of you guys because yeah, you're both funny and you're both I like both of you guys personally. I know
it's a great fight. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. It's a great fucking fight. With me slipping on stage makes it so much funnier.
Yeah. What, dude? That was
I
epic.
blame. You know what's funny? I don't have any personal beef with Crack against that. I hate Alex Stein.
Why?
Yeah?
Why do you hate Alex Stein?
He poured water on himself.
Oh, and that caused
So
the
when
slippage.
Crack pushed me, he put his like hand on my neck,
Yeah.
and bro, I went to go throw a little flick, and bro, I flicked, and my fucking body didn't. My fucking body just I flipped, my body slipped. Next thing I know, my glasses are broken. I'm standing up and I'm looking around like,
What the fuck just happened?
Dude, you're lucky you
What the
didn't
fuck
get
just
injured.
happened?
You could have like
I'm not gonna lie, is I fucked up my hand a little bit and I fucked up my thigh a little bit. So the extra time to get back into it, it was a lot. It was a lot. Decline host. I also hate Alex Stein.
What happened to Alex Stein's fight with that one Muslim gentleman? They were like, what was it, turkey dog? It wasn't even pork dogs. It was turkey dogs at him as a joke.
I'm not that deep into Alex Stein shit.
Yeah, no, that got canceled, but he's fighting on Lewis's fight now with
he's fighting Mike Harrington.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who?
fuck.
I mean, I just love that everyone's doing this. Stevie Lewis fighting Ryan Katsu Rivera Friday.
Yeah. There's a lot there's a lot of fights.
Is yours going to be before or after the carnival?
After.
After?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to go down there for that? Or no, you're going to be with it. All right.
If I was able to go down there for that, I'd be fighting.
Nice.
So, Dylan, I kind of want to dive into you more here though about your career and everything like that. Because you're going solo now. Not solo, but you still have great connections, Gash Digital, obviously. You're doing your boxing thing. So you kind of want to go out on your own, just kind of experience life, see what you can do with your career, how you're moving forward. How is it been on your own on the road, just doing your thing? How have you enjoyed it so far? Has it been harder than you thought it would be? Like, what's going on with your mindset right now, just being on your own completely?
I think anytime you go quote unquote like solo,
yeah.
So I've had multiple moments now in my career where it felt like this, to where now you start like it's like mama bird pushing baby bird out of the nest.
Right.
You're like, I gotta learn to fly. So this first 5-10 feet, you're like, is it gonna start to work? Am I gonna fly?
Mm-hmm.
And then you start feeling the glide a little bit, and then eventually you're full fucking singing, you're full flying. And I remember when they took me off rap, it felt like them pushing me out of the nest a little bit. I remember being like, oh, I'm not going to be on camera as much, and caring about that. And then when every time I would take a bigger bite out of fucking life and like have to chew it, it felt like life being like, fly, motherfucker. If you want to fly, fly. And like, is it hard? I don't know if it's harder.
What horror film more just
stressful.
opened up just now in the background? Did you hear that? That's some Michael Myers shit.
No. I'm actually not even at my apartment. I'm at my friend's apartment. We're doing there's a bunch of stuff with claymation.
Oh,
that's
dang.
Yeah, nice.
So
yeah, if the homie wants to come on, he can jump on too. No worries.
Oh, Duffy, you want to do your first podcast?
We could send him a link too.
Hey,
what up, King?
There he is. This is his apartment.
Yes, sir. How you doing, brother?
He's not a man of many words. That's why he has me.
Dude, he looks like a G.
How's it going? He knows everything he knows. I beat the shit out of him every day until he can fight back.
Oh, hey!
That's my older brother, guys. No, he's not really. He seems like my older brother.
Morning suplexes before breakfast.
All right.
I love it. I love it. So you're just having a great fucking fun time. You're on your own now. You're doing your fucking thing the most part. You're killing it in your own right. You're actually making a name for yourself. So what is like your next big step you think in your career? And as a
Killing myself. Answer's done. Podcast is over.
There you go, man. There you go. No, honestly though, what are you trying to accomplish next? Are you trying to possibly go towards like film work as a comedian at all? Like
yeah, I need to get into a goddamn TV show.
Really?
I need to get in like something. I think film would be really dope. TV. I've done a Super Bowl commercial once, but it was like a small role. I did a Pepsi commercial for like TikTok, but again, these are all like. I think the more as I come into myself, more as I come into myself, like I actually just got an audition for a host of a tattoo show, and I wasn't emailing my manager or my agent back, and then finally they were like, "Yo, they requested you, like, are you gonna do this?" And I was like, "Oh fuck, I need to do this." But I think the next step for me, which I would really love to do, is sell my TV show or be on a TV show. I would like. I think if I got a show, this is so corny to say, but if I got a show like Euphoria, where I get to just play like a laid back version of myself, kind of just play that like sitting on the couch, smoking, talking shit, a little animated, a little more chill. I think I could get a lot of headway that way, because I know what to do in stand up. I hadn't really figured that same out. Like, I haven't really bursted through the fucking bubble, the asshole, or fucking acting yet.
Did you?
I have a friend.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No,
sorry,
I was gonna say I have a friend. Do you guys watch Ozark?
Yes, I've seen Ozark before with Jason Bateman. Not Jason Bateman. What's his name?
No, I think it's Patrick. Patrick Bateman is Jason Bateman.
No, that's the actor. Yes, it's Jason Bateman.
Yeah, Patrick Bateman is the character
from Psycho.
Psycho.
Yeah.
I'm friends with Wyatt from that show. His name is Charlie in real life, and dude, the amount of work that kid gets, and he's a child actor. Like, he should be getting that work. He has real agents, real managers. I got mine. Mine's like a half. I'm basically just getting cold calls sent to me where they're like, "You and 1,000 other retards are
can come in here and we'll cipher for you."
And then also, don't worry, Charlie's also up for it. I'm like,
dude, you'd be better on like a reality show or like just a live stream show, I think.
Dude,
IRL.
Dude, okay, so y'all want to know my secret?
Yes,
yeah.
I definitely want to know.
Y'all want to know what show I want to do? I got 2 shows.
Tell me. Let me hear this.
I want to do America's Got Talent for stand-up.
All right.
I want to do 5 minutes of just pure of all my cutesy shit, and then the next week do all my dark shit, and either they love me, either I become that, or I get what I need and they send me the fuck off my way. But here's my secret. I want to do The Circle. What's Circle on Netflix. You never seen that?
No.
It's a reality show where you're you're in a hotel room with a screen, and it shows your ranking amongst other people, and you have to build a social ranking with the people in your building. And at the end of every like 3 days, like they'll do little games of to try to pin people against each other, and then slowly groups develop. And the funny part is you can catfish on there. So you can be talking to the most beautiful chick, and it'll just be some dude like me who's like, "What's up, bro? I thought it was way easier to be a chick, so I got my really hot friend Marissa to send me her pics, and I'm playing Marissa."
Oh shit! Okay.
And then, dude, it's so funny. And then they'll get in little problems where like Marissa will be talking to a real girl, and they'll be like, "Yeah, you know how periods be every like 3 days? You gotta shove a tampon in my asshole." They're like, "That's not what being a girl is at all."
Dude, you would kill it on there, bro.
So, bro, I'm telling you, look up The Circle. That's the show where I said this to Corinne Fisher, where I was like, dude, I put her onto that show. She watches it, and I was like, yo, I want to be on The Circle, and she was like,
why don't you just go out to LA and like fuck your way to the top? G.
Fuck Austin, just go to LA instead.
Yeah, you could just do that in like 9 months, just like bang all the like top producer chicks.
I have a girlfriend.
Oh, he has a girlfriend.
I forgot about that.
So
no, but I mean, fucking your way to the top
okay,
does
anything
kind
that
of
moves, dog. All right, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, fucking your way to the top does rule.
Harvey Weinstein, dude. We got you.
Yeah,
Buddy.
dude. I
We'll
mean,
hook you
it
up.
does. Listen, I get it. It's a quick way to.
good
It's
man.
a quick way to get
Oh,
up,
gee.
but it's also.
Gee.
Are you
OG.
how often are you friends with your exes?
None.
None, yeah.
So if you're fucking your way to the top, that's also people in positions that could like
Have
one
dirt on
day
you.
you're on the Fox TV show because you fucked the Fox producer. Next day you're banned from Fox because you decided that you no longer want to fuck a 45-year-old.
Exactly.
Oh shit. But
Like,
then
so-
you just got to be a G about it, you know.
Just keep fucking, dog.
No. You just gotta.
No, but you're a
turn
man
them.
of character, and your father and mother taught you better than that.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
Yeah,
you do.
no.
And you have morals.
I'm trying to do things the semi-correct way.
The semi-correct. You have to. I mean, you're learning. You're a young gentleman in life on your own. You're learning.
I'm on the cooking path. Sometimes
Exactly.
I go like,
I mean, as long as you're not doing fentanyl in Philadelphia, you're straight, bro. But
nah, dog. I'm built like a fentanyl test strip. I can't be.
oh, it's all right then. You know what? Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I want to kind of dig back into you a little bit more here. So you're doing acting. Well, you're not doing acting yet to the extent that
I've
you
done
want to do.
some,
Yeah, you've done
but-
some commercials, but you want to get into an actual TV show, possibly. Who knows what? You know, because that could take you somewhere, honestly, in the acting realm as a comedian, which is an amazing, lucrative place.
The
to
problem is there's no more in-person auditions. So I was doing in-person auditions.
What's that mean? I'm sorry, I don't know.
Like you go in person and they are filming your audition. You
Oh,
get
I
one
got you. The
time
old
to do
school
it.
shit. Yeah.
Now they're all virtual.
Really? So
And
you do
bro-
all like this? Okay.
Bro, I can make you love me in person. Filming myself to make you love me, I'm like, I have to half-ass. If I don't half-ass it, like, fucking got him, dude. They fucking got you, dude.
I'm a faggot. Hey guys. No, go ahead.
It's just different. Where like I said, I submitted for this hosting job, and they were like, if you're a comedian, have fun with it.
Right.
And I just was like, yo, I'm gonna half-ass this. And like,
I'm gonna half-ass this.
like I was like, bro, like don't tell me to do
Just
what
be
I
real.
want. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna half-ass this. Like real ass podcast, bro, half-ass podcast. Like that's like I'm a half-ass dude. Like I'm gonna like it's the so if I've talked to Charlie about this.
Okay.
Why from Ozark? If I full ass it, you're trying too hard, and then you
Yeah.
get upset that you don't get it.
Hmm.
I'd rather like be more chill about it and then get an email that's like, hey, you booked this. And I'm like, no way. That
Right.
means if I
Yeah.
turn it on like 10 more %, we're good.
Right.
It was so stupid. They gave me this this script for a show that is souvenirs that are tattoos. So in the script it goes, it's like a souvenir, but it's a tattoo. It's a tattoo-aneer. And I just go, it's a souvenir, but it's like a tattoo. It's a tattoo-aneer. Tattoo-aneer? Is that what we're really going with? Tattoo-aneer? It's a tattoo-aneer. That's what they want me to say. And I just said
Good.
that, and it's they're either gonna love it or they're gonna hate it.
Dude, that just reminded me, bro. Are you do you think Schultz is legit? Or are you a hater?
He's pretty legit.
Yeah.
Comedy is weird because what everyone knows of classic comedy, like even Lewis said it, like to me once, where it's like, bro, people used to develop a half hour or an hour, and that would take like 7-8 years. Then you would sell it, and then you would tour it, and then like, because if you start watching like,
I gotta use the bathroom, boys. I'll be right back. Okay. Do your thing, bro.
Go,
hey yo,
go.
dude, you do you. Because if you start watching, just think of me when you pee. Because comedy's gotten too fast forward, where that's why people are doing crowd work, because you can have this natural moment that people like, but you're not burning your joke. I think Schultz is legit. He said a lot of stupid, funny things that has made me laugh a bunch. And I don't know if it's just being a white dude, but like that dude makes me giggle. He had this you don't know because like you're not in New York, right?
No.
So
Midwest.
in New York, we have like these heaters. They're like, they're like pipes I don't want to do his joke, but he has this dumb joke where he's doing the voice of his manager, and he's like, "But why does it make noise when it turns on?" And he goes, "The water." And he was like, "What does that mean?" He goes, and he does the so good. He goes, "The water." It goes ding 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 ding. And it's just the way he did it. I remember him have a crowd work clip where he's talking about to this Indian couple. And he calls out something. He's like, "So are you sick or are you this?" And he goes, "Yeah, see, I know Indian shit." And like he's been able to do race stuff with like actually really knowing the shit behind it, where I think he's pretty legit. But I tried watching his TV show. I didn't like it. And I tried watching his actually I didn't watch his special. I just like
You see stuff on YouTube, probably, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how I am.
I like
sometimes he's in the algo, sometimes he's not. I haven't seen him in a long time.
What made Schultz famous is the Schultz that I like and the Schultz that I know. But after that, bro, he's for the masses. Whatever the fan base that he's created, that's not for me.
Yeah, those for casual.
Sometimes you gotta like remember like there's a lot of different people. Like, bro, there's as many as there's like dudes who smoke weed and want to be assholes, and it's like, yo, why is this bro now he's being corny? It's like, bro, he's selling out theaters. It's like, like women will bring a dude and 3 of her friends to a comedy show. A dude will pull up to a comedy show by himself.
Yeah, exactly. So
you got to remember, like, it's sometimes hard as a comic where you're like, yo, bro, I got to be aiming my comedy towards people who are also like, if I'm doing stand-up and this whole audience now fucks with me, these girls, these families, moms, dads, kids, maybe young teenagers, you're like, and then you start doing more rooms, you're like, yo, I'm gonna develop comedy for the people that like it. And what tends to happen is the people that now don't like that level of comedy, they check out.
Yeah.
And I remember Kevin Hart was one of my favorite comics when I was a kid. And then he had one special where he just was like, all fake stories. It was like, and then a deer, bro, jumped down in front of the car, and my car swerved, and I got out, and I said, yo, deer, bro, what are you doing? But it wasn't a deer, bro. It was actually 3 little people in a suit. And the 3 little people looked at me, and they said, yo, your wish is granted. And I was just like, he was doing this whole song and dance, and I was like, bro, this isn't for me.
You just move on from it. No, I was going to ask you.
Mir. Sorry, I was talking to Ryan Katzer Rivera, and he's going to be coming on here soon to talk with you, by the way, about the fights going on. And he wants
he's not fighting Katsu.
No, I know, but he wants to talk to him real quick, give us some advice, because he's a hefty older man. He wants to spread his wisdom.
Ray DeVito, I don't know about the fridges at Gas Digital. It seems like a very Ray DeVito thing for him to do. So if you say that's true, that's honestly true. The only thing that I know about Ray is he's asked me, and I mean asked me, I think 10 to 15 times to watch his special and give him notes.
No, he did not.
And that's just something I couldn't do.
Why not? Why could you do it for the older?
I don't even watch Andrew's, like we were just talking about, I don't even watch like good specials. The only specials I've watched in the past 5 years have been Dog Belly and Jew by Big J and Ari Shaffir. That's it. That's like.
Do you have a special at all? You have a special out, correct?
No, I ain't got. I'm saving mine until a bigger company is like.
Pick you up.
Yeah, that's why I said America's Got Talent or something, because I would love, if I'm gonna burn it.
Gotta do it the right way.
I want to burn it. I want to burn it when it's ready.
What's your take on Netflix giving all these comedians? I've never heard of specials, and specials. When you got a special, that's insane type of shit back in the day. That meant you were making it. Nowadays, I see fucking these comedians who I've never heard of, who aren't really funny at all, just getting these specials. What's your take on that?
If they can do it, so can I.
That's true. I mean, would you want a special from Netflix or no?
I mean, yes. It'd be crazy to say no.
Right.
I wouldn't, like, if Netflix called me today and was like, how long do you want your special to be? I'm like, can we do 25?
Not an hour.
Like, it's just because, like, I only have 25 that I'm, like, genuinely, like, these are well thought out jokes that have, like, levels to them.
Right.
If I'm not putting out, like, again, that's what we were talking about, like, before. Like, it's comedy got a little fast tracked.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people like trying to fast track comedy, and it's hard with an art that people take 20 years to develop. It's not easy to do. Even I remember even watching like Pete Davidson's special. I was like, this isn't special because he wrote it in 3, 4, 5, 6 years.
Right.
So like that's also why people. I think people now in stand up have writers more than ever, because I think
Isn't that disingenuous as a comedian though?
you gotta look at the business side of it too, though.
I know, yeah.
It sucks. But that's why comedy isn't like how it used to be, because it used to be very individual. It used to be like this individual thinks this guy says this. If I want to hear more what this guy says and thinks, and I like the way that he thinks, I'm gonna go Google him, find his HBO special, his Comedy Central half hour, his whatever, and go watch that and enjoy it.
Right.
Now, if you put out a special, they're going to be like, all right, cool, but can you put out 15 to 30 seconds to minute clips for it? And hopefully those really do well to drive the special. It's a very backwards game where short form is being rewarded right now, and short form isn't the art. The art is long form.
I kind of want to get a little controversial with you here.
Yes,
so
my last name again. Let's do it.
No. We are very much past that. That's actually very much past that. I don't give a fuck about your last name. Your last name.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but so you see, do you edit yourself to some extent when you're on stage with your jokes to meet algorithms so you won't be shunned away from being online more via like TikTok, Instagram Reels, anything like that, Snapchat shit? Or do you just give out what you are completely out there, or do you kind of have to edit yourself a little bit compared to like other possible raunchy things you might want to say that you would just leave for the stage?
Sometimes people will I remember one guy came up to me in Washington D.C. after a show, and he was like, "Dude, I love your dark shit," and I was like, "I don't think I even have dark shit, but like I have jokes that are like more like I look like a cool school shooter, and I'll say like that as a line, and people will be like, "Oh, that's a dark joke." I feel like it's silly more than anything. With me and the way that I've been doing my act, I kind of already wanted to clean up in general.
Why is that?
Was like, it's not for the algorithm. It's really for, I was a 22-year-old being like, fuck, shit, pussy, I'm going on
look at
dates
me.
and fucking, like,
you're young and dumb.
Like, you kind of just like,
you grow up a little bit.
Yeah, like, it's the same thing with Jay, where Jay's like, oh, you can't say as much on stage anymore. But I'm like, but you still look at people and go like, big tits over here, what are you doing? And it's like, it's more about like, can you justify what you're saying more than ever?
Right.
And listen, if comedy goes in waves, if it gets easier and you can just say retard and get a laugh, buddy, my set's gonna be half of them.
I'm sure you can still get laughs from retard though.
No, and you do, but like that's what I'm trying to say is, I don't know if it's comedy got smarter or harder, but comedy got like impressed me, like make me actually think. Like the reason why people love Shane Gillis is because he's that middle ground of like, dude, you're fucking gay, dude, and make you laugh from that, but can also make you laugh from like this well thought out joke.
Do you like British comedy at all by any chance or no?
Jimmy Carr, but that's it.
You don't like Ricky Gervais or Steve Merchant?
I like Ricky Gervais. But again, that's where it's like, again, comedy, those audiences might be weird. Where like, you're like, I don't think comedy, you just like, it's like supply and demand. If the demand is more like well thought out jokes about current events, like, I don't know, man. I feel like such a Jew thinking like this, but it's like,
no, do your thing.
Like if that's what the people want, like you'd be an idiot not to sell that. That'd be like if someone called you and was like, "Yo, your podcast would work way better if you put like a colorful border around it. Like when you're doing the interview, put like a really colorful border, and you'll gain like another 1,000 views.
You do it.
Well, you would do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I have to, like, and it's not even like a beauty filter. Like I was never that dirty. I was never that raunchy. I was more just like,
you're just a hype guy. You're not really.
Yeah, and honestly, I wanted to stop having jokes where I'm like, and her pussy was like this, and like I was like this, and like just kind of like, I have a joke that I'm bringing back right now, where it's like, I went on a date with a girl who was made in a test tube, and like one of the lines is she had science project pussy.
Yeah.
And
Love
it
it.
was just like, but now when I'm
Rewriting it.
rewriting it, it's not about like, it's more about adding in the real the person to it, where I'm just like, yo, I'm like, when I used to fuck her, it was perfect. Like her vagina was perfect. Like it was, I don't, for lack of a better term, it was like science project pussy. And like you kind of realize you're like, I don't need to be like science project pussy, and then this, and then my dick is like a dick on a windowsill, and my dick is kind of like a dying plant on a window. Like you slow down a little bit, and that's what Jay used to tell me a lot on the road when I first started going with Jay.
Yeah.
I started asking for advice, and he would just go
Slow the fuck down. You're a man too now. You're a man now. You can't. That's not your persona anymore. You're not a kid. There you go, buddy. There you go. You're a man now. You're a stoic man.
Guys, this is what peak physical man looks like.
I respect that. I wish I could be there one day. I hope and pray every day. But yeah, so you're starting to honestly mature and grow as a comedian. You're starting to do your own thing. Has there been anyone besides Jay in your life that's kind of grabbed you, said you gotta stop doing this pussy shit, this bullshit? Like maybe your father kind of grabbed you, said your shit's not, you gotta stop doing this. Has your father?
No, my dad grabbed me and was like, "Yo, your shit's not funny. Please stop bleeding."
He said, "Just stop."
He said, "Please stop doing these fucking Israeli jokes. You're being a nuisance to our family."
Oh no,
Nah.
Oh shit.
Derek Gaines and Dave Temple. Dave Temple kind of was like, one time was like, "Yo, you don't need to say every joke like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, you can just go up there and have fun. Figure out like what joke they want." Derek Gaines will get on me about being like undeniable, where he's like, I'm like, man, this set, that set. He's like, I'm like, oh, bro, I killed over here and they didn't book me again. He's like, were you undeniable? And I'll be like, but if you have to pause, you're not there. And Derek Gaines kind of helped me with joke writing a little bit, cause and same thing with Big J. When you're around really good joke writers, it kind of helps you figure out a rhythm. And hilarious enough, someone who gave me a really good advice one time was Justin Silver. I don't know if you guys know who that is.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't know.
I've seen him before. Yeah, he's funny.
Justin Silver, one time we were on the road with Jay, and I'm getting upset. I'm like, dude, fucking last audience was so good. Why can't this audience be like what did I do wrong? Like, why weren't they as loud as that last audience? And he kind of was like, hey man, would you talk to a girl and say the same lines the exact same way every single time? How often would that work? Like 1, 2, 3 out of 100? But if you adjust, you figure out what she likes. He's like, yo, these crowds are just women. Figure out what they want and give them what they want.
See, that's what makes you brilliant, and I just want to kind of dive into that a little bit, real quick, because you are brilliant to some extent. You're a young man, you're fucking killing it. Now, here's something I want to kind of get into you real quick about.
Get inside of me already.
I will, buddy. I will. Trust me. Anyway,
you're little, so you'll fit.
Exactly. I'll get a little for you, right? No, but you have all these people. Like, let's just say your general population, when we hear, New York comedy scene's falling apart, all these scenes are comedy's falling apart. They show when we say that, they're usually showcasing on TikTok, Instagram Reels, all these people who are like not open mics, but maybe have a year in, and they just say all these SJW garbage jokes, whatever, and it's other shit. And they're young too, right? So people are like, oh, young people are ruining comedy scene. But you actually look at somebody. Push away the open micers and just the 1 year in fools that they try to portray on Instagram Reels and TikTok. You see people like you who's around absolute legends in the comedy scene who are cultivating themselves and growing themselves, not to be raunchier or more disgusting, but they're just growing their
just to be better.
Just to be better. You're not trying to edit yourself. You're just growing more. And I think you guys kind of get pushed away to the side more, and the freak shows and the idiots get portrayed more on the comedy scene. That people think comedy's falling apart in New York.
This is where
actually holding it up.
This is where Big J. I confide in, because Big J and Kevin Hart kind of came up together.
Yeah.
And he's the person where I'll start venting to, and he'll be like, yo, you have, it's a marathon. No, so you gotta have to kind of look at the longevity of it, where you go, it's not what do they say? It's like, it's not a race.
It's not a race, it's a marathon.
Yeah, like it's when Netflix does call me, let's say it's been 10 years or whatever, or let's say that TV show Euphoria or whatever, like that show happens.
Yeah.
It'll put me in a way better position where, like I said, I'm a late bloomer. I know I'll be ready, and I'd rather feel ready in the positions that I'm in than have TikTok project me to 1 million followers and have to hold that up. And maybe I'm just saying this because I don't have 1 million followers, but I always somehow find myself taking the harder path. And
Right.
I don't know what that is. When Ari Shafir, and is someone that I kind of looked up to before I moved out to New York. But when I was picking LA or New York, it was either go to LA, figure that out, or go to New York and figure it out. I bought a one-way ticket and I wanted to live there, and I knew what I was going to do. I knew I was going to do stand-up. And the only reason I picked New York over LA was I knew I could fuck my way to the top in LA. I knew I could dance and confidence.
Dance like a dancing monkey.
Confidence my way to the top.
Right.
What scared me was at the end of that road being successful and having people be like I'm meeting comedians that I respect and then being like, yeah, bro, what's up, man? Thanks for ruining comedy. And I was like, I'd rather go the Big J route where I'm like, you know what? I can know what I know, but you'll never tell me that I'm not funny. You'll never tell me that I'm not hungry. Like, you'll never tell me, like no one knows what's inside your tummy. Like, no one knows how fucking hungry you are. And that's the one thing that I think differentiates me from a lot of people is I'll be doing this for 20 years.
Right.
Future Hall of Famer, bro.
I hope so.
That's why it's an honor to meet you, because I can just tell by your energy and just how you portray yourself and how you're going about things. You're not a flash in the pan. You're not just another TikTok comedian.
Don't forget us when you're good, bro.
Yeah,
bring us up on the entourage.
People keep saying to me for like my whole life, don't forget me when you're famous.
Oh my God, I hate that shit.
Bro, I don't think it's gonna happen. Like
you're not gonna forget, or you're not gonna make it.
When? But that's like the longevity thing, because I keep going, when's it gonna happen?
Right.
But if
the longer the better, honestly, because it'll weed out the people who are just like Johnny come latelys,
Bro,
yeah, sure.
I'd rather be the 10-year comic when that acting job calls me, looking the same that I look right now. They go, hey man, can you play a 26-year-old but be really good at it? Versus them calling the 26, 25, 24-year-old and being like, hey, can you play a 26-year-old? You just started comedy 2 years ago.
Right.
Those people are going to rise to the top and do what they do regardless. But, there's a lot of people who've been on SNL that you don't know. Well, there's a lot of people who've been on SNL that
no one knows.
Fall through the cracks, a writer or
Kevin Brennan. Kevin Brennan right there for you. You know Kevin Brennan at all or no?
I know of Kevin Brennan. I don't know. Right. Like I do know his kind of like his anger at comedy, I believe.
Yeah, no, but, he's brilliant in his own right, and he fell through the cracks of SNL.
And that's another thing, because I think this game is multifaceted, and that is I want to do stand up till the day I die, but I also don't want to put out an hour special every year. I want to put out the special that I'm going to put out as a kid. Hopefully, get an acting gig or sell a TV show. If I can sell my animated show to Adult Swim, bro, on my mama, you guys are seeing me 6 months out of the year. The other 6 months, I'm in
paradise.
I'm spending the money and quiet.
No, I'm just bad.
Yeah, no, that's it. I'm spending the money in quiet.
So
and I'm just retooling. That's it.
Right, retooling, recapping, relaxing. But I got a question for you now, though, because you're young. Look at Ray DeVito, right?
58, my God.
48, 58. I don't know how old that motherfucker is now. Basically
like
homeless.
What is y'all beef with Ray DeVito?
I got no beef with him, but he's a great example of a failed comedian. I kind of want to dive into that a little bit. He's 48 or 58 years old at this point. No, I think he's 49 or something like that. No home, no stability whatsoever in any aspect of his life going on. He's constantly on the road. He lives in people's homes. My thing is, at what point in time do you do you have like a point in time?
Homeless. That's a nuisance.
It's a nuisance, yeah, for your friends, take care of you and shit. But he's a great man. I like Ray. He's a very sweet person, but he's somewhat of a moron. But my thing to you is, does it kind of scare you like you could possibly like 48 years old, have no backup plan, and be just stuck like Ray is looking to hop on Jay Leno's show, which doesn't exist anymore.
No, that's so funny.
Conan.
I'm perfectly fine. That's really funny. I'm
That's
perfectly
really funny.
I'm perfectly fine, bro. And I think that's what calms me a little bit is, and this is funny, is like if I was working in animation, if I was working in like an animated show,
Right.
I could leave this life behind.
Okay.
Like I could, like it would be very, like I have an animated show that I'm currently trying to pitch, and it was before the writers strike that I had a writing job hopefully lined up, but it fell through because of the writer's strike.
Dylan's built so much different, bro.
I know. I can tell by looking.
It's not.
At him.
But that does serve as like a warning to like a
warning.
young seeker. But it probably just fuels him to be even better.
Right. You don't want
like you don't want to be like that guy. You know.
Yeah, like it's.
Be like
you know,
Mike.
if listen, bro, I'll be real with you, and you guys can timestamp this and put this out.
No.
But if I'm 35 in the same position that I am talking to this podcast, bro, I'm out. I'm out the game. Like it's not. Like, yeah, like God.
Unless we all come up together.
God told me
you know?
It was enough. When God tells you Himself, it's enough. Like.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I feel like Ray, but that's also another problem is people become like my phone's about to die, so I gotta plug it in. But
no, you're good.
I got like 2 more minutes here. Ray's I think Ray's a good example of I don't know what like I don't know when like I hate to say this because Ray does.
No, he's a great guy. I do like Ray. I do like.
You know what, Ray? You know what, Ray? You've been with me in a while. I'll say it. Ray's a good example of what not to do. Just like know when to like. I feel like you should know when to call it, know when to hold them, know when to fold them type energy. And I think he's a great dude, a great producer, but I don't know why he has a pod. Like I don't even know why I have a podcast sometimes. But I know our clips do really well. I know people like it. I know we have 13,000 on TikTok. I know we have 5,000 on YouTube, and I know that it's doing something. So it's like I know why I'm doing it, and I know I keep doing it because I want that animated show out there. I want to be a writer, bro. I want to be a writer on an animated show. I'll have my animated show out. I'm here doing claymation, not be, because I love it.
Dope. We gotta get that guy on sometime.
It's a brilliant. It's just fun to do. Animation, claymations. That's a great other outlet to have. It's just fun.
Yeah, so like that's another thing that I was gonna get into is any kind of fun way that I feel like to end the pod is like I want to be a director, bro. Like I want to be Kevin Feige as much as I want to be Dave Chappelle. Like that's my problem is like I want to be a director, a creator, a show creator just as much as I want to be a comedian. The only problem is there's no open mic for directors. It's
right.
You spend $15,000, you make a short film, you bring it to short film festivals. Like even that even Wyatt from Ozark, like Charlie, he has a short film that he's developing. It's still just spend money, you bring it to film festivals, you get people, you hire people, you get friends, you get whatever. You know what I'm saying? You pay for people, you don't pay for people. Everyone does it differently. Clerks was a $30,000 credit card.
Mm-hmm. Like, we hope it
worked out.
He's one of those.
You got to shoot your shot, and Ray never shot his shot, right?
I mean, he did kind of.
I know what's annoying about Ray.
What?
I was gonna say he never shot a shot. He got to work on that step back. But I played basketball with him once. He was infuriating to play.
What was it?
Infuriating.
Was he? Tell us about his game.
A lot of just, bro. He plays like an old man, but it goes in.
Yeah, he's good,
bro. I'll be real with you. If he was as good as a comic as he was as a basketball player, we would never be talking about Ray.
Damn.
I'm telling you, that dude for some reason can hit a shot. I can play.
Man.
I have 3 tattooed on my finger because I love hitting corners.
Yeah, me too,
bro.
bro.
Just fucking 3 corners, dog. But every time I show people my tattoo, they think I'm racist. Okay.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the military or whatever was doing that.
Yeah, whatever. The Pepe the Frog.
That's right.
All right, y'all got like 2 more questions, and then I gotta get out of here.
Perfect. All right, Chow. How about you doing since you booked the guest? You asked him the questions, mate.
No, I mean, one of your big blowups was with Dalton. Was that a work or was that real?
All right, man. You know, all right, guys, it was a good podcast. It was great. I don't like Dalton.
Yeah.
I don't like Dalton. I try to like him. I
Disrespected
want
you
to
a
like
little.
him. It's not about that. It's like, no, I mean, it's not even about like personal. I mean, it is personal, I guess it would be, but it's more about like how he does comedy. We don't do comedy, you know, for the same reasons. You know, I completely get, you know, trying to be as funny as possible. But again, that's why I said earlier, we were like, do you edit yourself? Dalton would be the comic that tells you like, they're trying to get me to stop saying the N-word. I want to say the N-word.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Sticky.
I want to be able to say retard and fag and do all that. Like, you know, like for me, I could care less. And so with the thing with Dalton, I'll give you the real story again. What I was trying to say on the podcast when it happened is if you look up the infamous moment with me and Dalton on the studio,
right?
He left Michael Harrington behind and kind of ditched him. And I watched him look at one of his friends and go, "We should ditch him, right? We should ditch him." And I was on mushrooms, and Mike Harrington was on mushrooms, and they start driving away, and I'm watching my friend Mike holding a backpack, a camera bag, his other backpack, running down the street going, "Wait!
No.
Wait!" And in my head, I was like, "You're scum. You're scum. Like, to do that to somebody, you're scum. Like, you're not a good person."
Yeah.
And I've already had moments with him where I was like, "Yo, I don't think you're a good person. And if I don't think you're a good person,
we're done.
I'm out."
So I saw the video clip. What was it? He like took your seat or something, or he hopped on your guys' stage or in Legion of Skanks and said some crazy shit, right, or something like that.
Oh, that happened
was a different time.
Yeah, that happened on Legion.
Okay.
He went on Legion and was like, "Dave Smith isn't funny," and they all got mad at him.
Okay.
And I mean, Dr. Chow.
Yeah.
Do you remember the moment on Halloween Skanks when he went up there and everyone got mad at him and booed him?
I remember him like kind of doing that bit of being crazy and going on the show, and people liked it at first, and then it kind of got annoying quick.
Well, so one of the times we set him up is they were doing this Halloween costume contest, and the intern was going around going, "Yo, is there anyone else? Anyone else?" Dalton would always show up to the shows, so I lean in and I go, and me and two other friends had this idea. I'm not gonna say their names either, but we all just had this idea to go, what if we put Dalton down? Put him down as
yeah,
and bro. When they announced him and he gets up there, he starts promoting his show, and everyone starts booing him. It was one of those moments where I was like,
you're like, it's like Carrie. It's like Carrie.
Not a race.
Pig blood on him.
It's not a race. It's a marathon.
Right. Exactly.
And Dalton's a great example for that. Is would you want to be like have your moment for 3 months and be at the top of the world, and then have Tony Hinchcliffe expose you and all these things happen? And fuck that, dude. I'd rather be in the shadows.
Yeah, it's paid off. I mean, if you look at where you guys were back then, and then now you're like, he's kind of reeling a little. But we had him on, and hopefully he gets better. And hopefully you don't hold too long a grudge.
I saw Dalton when he was in the middle of coming back, and he came back, and I remember seeing him at the stand. Everyone was being really nice to me, and I could see that he just wasn't right. And I got up, and I went over there, and I was like, my parents raised me different. What's up, man? How you doing? Yeah. How you feeling? What's up, buddy? You feeling better? How's life? Sorry to hear about your friend. All that shit. And then later that night, he said something again disrespectful. And I was and I literally leaned in, and we were leaving the club, and I leaned in and go, "Hey, man, don't forget, I will smack the shit out of you. There's no podcast happening right now."
Right. Like, you're actually.
And because again, I'm not right in the head. I'm the youngest of 3. Like, I had to fight my little brother to get anywhere. So it's like, I'm not afraid. I'm like, "Hey, man, don't ever disrespect me in a public setting."
It's funny, dude. Motherfuckers think they just say shit to you. It's like, this is real life now, bro. This ain't no.
Yeah, buddy. Stage. And that's where and like, you know, in comedy, you're not supposed to just fight over shit, but at the same time, it's like, I want to show people where I'm like, "Yo, bro, this is serious to me." And again, this is serious to me.
Yeah.
And then don't take it so serious. This is serious to me.
How recent was this?
This was like over a year ago.
Okay,
That was a long time ago.
yeah, we had Dalton on recently. He seems he's taking his pills. He's he's not crazy anymore.
Sure. He was more. This is more like he just got better and tried to come
Right.
back out a little bit. Then I think that's when after he moved back to his parents or something like that.
Have you seen him anytime since, or just
No.
Okay, but if you ever
Different
come
worlds
again,
now.
you might,
No, it's funny. You know what I just do? You know what I just do now is I do this
What?
sarcastic thing. I did this to someone recently at Skating Fest, and I'm just a piece of shit. I just do this. I'll do it to y'all. Ready?
Mm.
Oh shit, yo, it's you! Like, dude, oh my god, you're like, you're like killing it.
Oh my
And
god.
I'll just give him
I
like
love
the
it,
picture.
bro.
I'll
Now
be
you're
like,
getting
legend.
yo,
You're a
dude,
goddamn
like, yo,
legend.
So like, are you like well now? You on your meds? Dude, meds fucking rule, right, dude? All right, but I'll see you later.
I was
love
gonna
it.
say,
love
you
it.
know that guy Hard Rock Nick? He used to go like, "Where am I? And where are you?"
Oh yeah,
I like that, like quiet, confident shit of a baller. But that shit that you did, that's epic. That's even better.
I let the energy run the show sometimes, and that's a problem.
Exactly, but let's end it right there on that note.
Yeah,
It
you're a
was
G, bro.
It was honestly an honor to meet you, Dylan. I really hope the best for you in your fight. I hope you knock him out. Let's get that knockout one in there for you.
I know. It would be down if I got a TKO. He just fucking.
That'd be
quits.
nuts. That
That'd be
would
crazy.
actually be hype if you knocked that fucker out.
That'd be crazy.
But
Mad
either way,
respect.
it was an honor, sir, to meet you. It was
a lot of fun.
privilege. I hope the best for you in your comedy career and possibly your film career. I just hope you have a great rest of your time with your fights. Tell Alex Stein.
Dude, guys, stay in touch. Let's do this podcast again.
Yeah,
buddy.
if you ever need someone to run it on Dopecast too. I mean, we're not local.
Oh, bro,
but,
absolutely.
yeah.
We don't. We literally mostly just do it. We actually moved it from gas to my apartment, so we're still figuring out the kinks and everything, and even how to have someone remotely. But dude, absolutely. Also, if you're ever in New York, bro, if you guys are ever in New York, or if I'm in Austin, if you're in Austin, hit me up. Stay in touch. Seriously.
Dang. All
All
right.
right, Dylan. Be safe,
Later,
buddy.
gang.
My guys, peace.
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 Yeah. Until next.